Hey buns, I hope you're all having fun in Dawntrail so far. I have been playing since early access on Friday, but I've actually not touched the main story quest yet. I will start main story quest tomorrow, July 5th. You might notice, you might be hearing some fireworks in the background because today is actually July 4th, and that's kind of a big holiday here in America. But I am going to be ignoring the fireworks because I really want to record this video. So I'm just warning you now, it might be a little loud. So without touching the main story quest, I wanted to talk about things like which job I've chosen to go into the main story quest with after getting Picto to 93 and Viper to 92 and all the pre 7.0 content, how I've been leveling these jobs to 90 quickly and easily, the graphics update, dyes system, and just various Dawntrail tips and tricks, PSAs, and just random things that I think might be helpful for you. So I can just talk, get you up to speed on where I've been, what I'm doing, and in a totally spoiler-free way, because again, we haven't touched main story quest and we won't till tomorrow. So let's hop in. Let's start with really what I've been sinking most of my time into: Picto Answer and Viper. Both of these jobs are extremely fun, and it's been very difficult to decide which one I want to do the main story quest with, but I think I am leaning towards Picto Answer. That's the one that I think has really captured my imagination and that I haven't been able to get off of my mind ever since the media tour. Even though when I first got my hands on it then, I felt pretty overwhelmed. I think it's just because they gave me a level 100 kit. And all of that at once was a lot to figure out in a very short span of time that we had to work with there. You unlock Picto Answer and Viper at level 80, and it's way easier to digest when you have just a level 80 kit. I think that the progression of learning this job with your level 80 spells moving through up to 90 is really smooth and really easy to figure out. It is not at all like as overwhelming as I thought it was going to be and that I was worried about. Some reasons why I've decided to go with Picto instead of Viper: well, I'm a Dancer main and I will always be playing Dancer like on the side. I will continue to level Dancer. I just love that job. Picto Answer has a non-targeted dash. You can just go in any direction you want to and dash. This is actually really important for me because if you play Dancer, you get Dancer brain and you get hooked on that dash. You get addicted to the ability. I am an expert at standing where I shouldn't be to the last possible second and dashing away. And I need to be able to do that now on any job. Viper has a teleportability, but you need to target the enemy or a party member to use it. And that's not as quick as I need for a Dancer brain. Also, coming from Dancer, I think ranged is more comfy for learning fights, and tactics are going to carry over easier if I want to also be playing Dancer. I also know how to play other casters, Summoner, Red Mage, and I'm kind of learning Black Mage too. Other people are learning Black Mage outside, actually. I don't know if you can hear that. There are many explosions today. Another big one for me is the fact that I had more fun playing Picto Answer at lower levels than Viper. So I love Viper after you get reawakened. When you get the blue power-up stance and it's super fast. I love it. I think that's where the job shines for me. But that's not an ability you get until level 90. Before that, it's fun, but it's just not the same. It's not what really captivates me about the job. The reality is that in Final Fantasy XIV, I spend a lot of time doing roulettes and being level synced down in lower level content. I need that lower level content to have really fun buttons for me to press. And this is actually something that I have to think about when I want to dedicate a lot of time to a job. Leveling Viper from 80 to 90 was okay, but I just felt like it was really missing something, and I had wished that I'd gotten reawakened earlier on. Picto Answer, however, you get Mog of the Ages. That's a level 30 ability. For the vast majority of content in the game, you're going to be able to summon a big-ass Moogle beam, and that's fun. It's a fun button to press. You also have Hammer Stamp, which is my favorite button. One of my favorite buttons in the entire game across any job. It's like a triple cast Felcleave hammer at range, basically. That's a level 50 ability. So that means anything above level 50, you can press your bonk hammer. This is huge. For me, this really matters, having those exciting buttons to press in all kinds of content. Now, everybody's going to have a bad time as Stasha. It doesn't even matter what your job is. I just want to maximize the amount of dungeons where I will have fun buttons to press. Another thing that made me lean towards Picto is the fat chocobo ability in PvP that you get. This has got to be one of the most fun abilities in the game besides the hammer, and it is just so ridiculous. I almost feel a little sad that we didn't get it in PvE because it's such a good button. It's basically a gigantic fat chocobo that you plop down on the arena and it knocks the enemy team back 10 yalms. And it also puts a little perimeter of rainbows and cupcakes and stuff. It's so good. This is such a good button. There's a lot of just really silly and fun things like this that made me fall in love with Picto. How I've been leveling these jobs to 90 plus quickly and easily without any story quests. Leveling Alliance Raid and Frontline Roulettes has been the big three. At this point, you might know people that can help getting some of these queues for leveling. Alliance Raid and Frontline Roulettes have been pretty fast for me, even queuing a solo as a DPS. Wondrous Tales books and Arcasadra Beast Tribe quests. Add on to that some challenge log XP. You're gonna have a ton of XP just from those things alone. There's also fate farming that you can add on to your challenge log XP with, get those challenge log entries done. Lots of people are doing open world fate farming right now. And there's also Bajia, which could be an option for you. Now things might change for me at level 100. I hope not, but like what if I hate Picto Answer optimization? I have no idea what that's gonna be like. What if it's super hard and stressful? I don't know. So I guess I'll check in with you again after I get into end game. But we also know that changes have been announced for Viper, and there was this big lodestone post that was pretty controversial about how they got feedback that Viper is too busy, so they want to deal with that. I find that to be a little weird because the busyness is something that everybody seemed to say that they liked about the job, but let's just hold out and see what they have planned. There's really nothing else we can do. Maybe things will change, but for now I'm really happy with Picto Answer gameplay. I love the vibe, I love the aesthetic. I like the fact that there's this failure state kind of that you can get into if you don't stay on top of painting your pictures. It's rewarding to feel like you're ready for your burst window coming up because you've prepared all of your motifs and stuff ready to go. It reminds me in some ways of Old Summoner. It's good. I'm having a good time with it so far. Next, I want to talk about the graphics update a little bit. Everybody's characters look so good. so good. I feel like especially eyes are so much brighter for everyone. I was worried about Dune's folk eyes being too dark in the character creator, but in the world they have absolutely maintained and captured that same luminescence. Even the NPCs are looking really good now. However, I would say that textures that are not updated now look even worse than ever, being right next to new textures. Like some of this stuff is the stuff that looks bad stands out really bad now. But it is also funny how random things have caught my attention, like the Aetheryte, of course, is like shimmering and shiny. Like this big blue raspberry ice pop that you could just go up and look at. That is mesmerizing, of course, but it's also the small things in the world that have caught my attention, and that's been fun. Like having a glimmer of light reflecting off of a piece of metal catch your attention, and then all of a sudden you notice all the other little details that go into an object. The rocks are rockier. Cloth is clothier. But textures that are not updated now look worse than ever, being right next to new stuff. Like I was admiring this Aura NPC in Radzadha, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, look at his scales, look at his eyes. And then I turn to see what he's looking at, and it's like 2 pixels stretched across a back. Also, as for the 2 dyes system, it's good, but it's amazing, incredible. But there is some weirdness with it. First of all, I thought that all of the items in the whole world were gonna get 2 dyes. I think I have hyped myself up too much, and I did not understand that not every item is gonna have 2 dyes on it. Not every item is gonna have 2 dye channels. Many do, but not all do. Even some of the more recently made items don't have 2 dye channels by default, and I gotta admit that was a little disappointing for me. The other thing is that the second dye channel a lot of times doesn't make intuitive sense. Like there's 2 parts of an item that seem like the 2 parts that you would want to dye, but the first part is the obvious part, and then the second part is something really tiny and random that doesn't matter. Like here's an example of some shorts where yes, the first dye channel is the color of the shorts,
And the second one, you would think, well, that might be the belt, but it's not. Instead, it's like the tiny little stitching at the bottom that no one is even going to see. You know, so I don't really understand what was the mindset that went into choosing the second dye channel for a lot of these. In a lot of cases, it's excellent, but in a lot of cases, it just feels really bizarre and weird. I did do the Picto Answer quest line, and I loved it. Like, okay, it was a bit of a roller coaster because the first quest, I thought it was hilarious and great. The intro quest is amazing. It also has a very handy little tutorial in the beginning. So does the Viper. Viper, I've only started that quest on. I forgot to actually finish the quests before recording this video. So I'll have to tell you how I feel about it later. But the Picto Answer quest starts out great. It's excellent. Then there was a couple quests that I felt like were filler. I didn't really care for that much. But it ends really strong. I love the ending. So all in all, like, I don't know, 8 or 9 out of 10 for Picto. So I wanted to share with you some other general PSAs for Dawntrail that I've heard that I found helpful that you might also. The graphics, you should go into your graphic settings and click on 3D resolution scaling, turn that to 99. This made a world of difference for me. Comparing 99 to 100, 100 is way more blurry than 99. Also, AMD FSR looks much clearer and more crisp for me, even though I'm on NVIDIA. So that might be something that you want to mess around with. You also have a free Fantasia waiting for you in Ul'dah. There's a quest there that called Bottled Fantasy where you can get it. You can also re-edit your character for another 60 minutes after you first use the Fantasia. So you can go back if you didn't like something that you saw once you got into game with those changes. I would also recommend that you go into your character settings and hide titles. I've been warned that there is a title that could be a little spoilery, so you should probably go into your settings and hide those now. Another thing is kind of a PSA is about how the term filter feature that we've gotten in Dawntrail is actually case sensitive for some reason. If you're trying to hide, you know, discord.gg, then people can just use any permutation of those words, letters in capital letters or lowercase, and they'll get by your term filter. So it's kind of pointless considering you only have 10 term filter slots to work with. So this is kind of a disappointing thing. I don't know why they would make this case sensitive, and I hope that they reconsider it. So anyway, I'm extremely excited to start the Dawntrail main story quest tomorrow and finally get a look at the new zones, see what this story is like. I have heard some mixed opinions from people. I can't really get into it though. Like, I can't ask someone why they feel that way or why they don't feel that way, why they're enjoying it or why they're not enjoying it, because I'm avoiding spoilers right now. So I'm just gonna go in with a really open mind. I guess what I'm expecting, what I'm hoping for with the story is a beach episode. I'm going in with a very laid back mindset. I'm going to go in with patience. I'm not going to marathon it. I'm going to, you know, do a little bit every day. Just try to enjoy myself as much as possible. I'm extremely looking forward to spending a lot of time with Aaronville in the cutscenes. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to have a better time than anybody. if he's as heavily featured as I expect that he will be, I'm pretty sure I'm going to have a fun-tastic time. Today's video is meant to be just a casual little chat to let you know where I'm at, what I've been doing with Dawntrail so far, and my experience with Picto and Viper, and letting you know that I'm starting the main story quest tomorrow. I wanted to thank those of y'all who have come to say hi to me in my streams. I've been streaming a lot this week, like multiple 12+ hour days. So thanks to some of y'all who came in to say hi and work towards your Chocopicore mount. That is a Twitch drop that is active until July 29th. So if you watch for a cumulative total of 6 hours within this month, well, before the 29th, then Twitch will give you a notification with the code in it. You can put that code right into the Mog station. So I've been seeing a lot of buns come in from YouTube to get their codes from watching me on Twitch. And yeah, you're absolutely... I would love to see you in there. That's really all for today. It's a little difficult to record because of the 4th of July celebrations that are going on. So thank y'all for your patience today. I just really wanted to record this video now because I'm starting the story tomorrow, and this is the only time I can make this video. I also wanted to thank my Patreon buns for supporting the channel and Ko-Fi buns. Thank you so much. Especially thank you to those of you who are subbed at the highest tier, the Omega buns. That's Anti-Clockwise Els, Jeanette B, Pete Wilson, and Christoph Brock. I hope you are, like I said, I hope you're having a fantastic time in Dawntrail, and I'm looking forward to letting you know how I feel about it after a few days spent in Tyrol. So I will be checking back with you as soon as I can. If you like this video, please consider supporting the channel on Patreon or on Twitch. You can also support the channel for free by clicking the subscribe button or by sharing this video with your fellow bun buns. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.